Having been a fan of video games since I was a kid and being console exclusive for so long, it was inevitable that I'd eventually break into the world of PC gaming and along with it, the gaming colossus known as Steam. I've had Steam for about 6 years, but never seriously got into it till around 3 years ago. In that time, my library has grown significantly, and as of writing, I'm sitting at around 300 games. Granted, I probably haven't even played half of them. This list focuses on the few games I've decided to invest my time in, and whether I've beaten them or just started. These 10 games have either left a lasting impression through my time with them, or the few hours I've put in show a lot of promise of things to come. Mind you, every game on this list might not be Steam exclusive. I'm just going off where I chose to play the games at the time, and with my library constantly growing, and as I slowly go through my backlog of games, there will be many more top 10s involving Steam in the future. And with all that out of the way, here's my personal top 10 favorite Steam games. Starting off with a relatively newer addition to my library, Space Engineers is an early access space sandbox game that I bought to enjoy with friends. An amazing time killer, things like mining, building your base, exploring, and building your very own spaceship provide hours upon hours of things to do. My personal favorite pastime was shipbuilding. Building a fighter ship is time consuming, but very rewarding in the end. And that initial liftoff and flying through the depths of space in a ship you built from scratch is incredibly satisfying. Space Engineers lands fairly low on this list because, while the time I spent with it was great, I knew my friends and I would quickly move on to other things, and on top of that, as stated, the game is still in early access, so there were some bugs and connectivity issues in multiplayer. But in the end, Space Engineers was still a very fun time that I look forward to getting back into at some point soon. Primordia is a point-and-click adventure game set in a post-apocalyptic world where humans have gone extinct and robots rule the lands. In Primordia, you follow Horatio Nullbuilt and his companion droid Crispin as they set out to retrieve their stolen power core. Being a point-and-click, I knew going in that I'd be terrible at Primordia, as usually I'm far too stupid for the puzzles that they usually implement in games like this, and often had to go consult a guide. That being said, even if the puzzles did go over my head most of the time, and even if one of the big revelations near the end was a bit lackluster and convoluted, the lively characters, interesting lore, and deeply detailed world made Primordia a joy to play through, and I look forward to exploring it again at some point in time. Now, this one might be a bit of a surprise being so low, but my time with Starbound has been very up and down. In the beginning, playing with friends, I could pour so many hours into one session, but as of late... What the hell? Hey! Oh god. My game! At number 8? Please, can we not? No, you listen to me. I'm taking over this review. Not really a review. I'm gonna fix all of this. It's actually more of a list. Fine, whatever. I'm bored now anyway. Do your dumb list. Hurry up and make episode 7. You sound familiar. Fuck you. I'm gonna go find Barnaby. So, am I just stuck here, or... Well, that was fucking weird. Whatever. I liked it a lot back then. Don't like it as much now. Moving on. The fourth game in the Momodora series, Reverie Under the Moonlight, is a Metroidvania in every sense of the word. Non-linear exploration, gorgeous pixel art, and an interesting setting and lore, Momodora brought me in with its looks, and I stayed for the gameplay and the music. While pretty difficult and confusing at times, Momodora enchants you to keep going with its beautiful backdrops, the feeling of exploration, and the promise of discovering something new around every corner. If you're a fan of Metroidvanias, Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight is definitely one I'd highly recommend. Okay, so yeah, Terraria only slightly gets the edge over Starbound, partially because of the fantastic loot-based system, and partially because I can play it for longer periods of time without getting bored. I've owned Terraria for years, and I, like many others, have spent countless hours just playing with friends, mining, getting awesome loot, fighting bosses, and just in general having fun. While it may lack the story and exploration that Starbound has, I feel it more than makes up for it with its charm and its hours upon hours of replayability. Here's a game I honestly didn't expect to like as much as I did. Bit Dungeon 2 feels like it was designed to be a pick up and play game, where you play for a good 10 to 20 minutes and then put it down, but for some reason I couldn't stop. With an art style similar to Link to the Past, and looting I'd compare to something like Dark Souls and Diablo, Bit Dungeon 2 was a very welcome surprise and something I still go back to for a few minutes of fun every now and then. Inspired by games like Chrono Trigger and Phantasy Star, Cosmic Star Heroine is a game that has been taking up most of my time as of late. While the story, pacing, and character development may lack in places, the gameplay, wonderful pixel art, and great soundtrack keep me going through every session. Even though it unfortunately lacks polish in quite a few areas, Cosmic Star Heroine was a surprise purchase that I did not expect to enjoy quite as much as I have. The fast-paced Chrono Trigger battle system and the beautiful environments are definitely the game's saving graces. If you're a fan of old-school JRPGs, Cosmic Star Heroine is a must-buy. Alright, this one's kinda cheating, but I don't care. I'm pulling the nostalgia card on this one. When I was a kid, I played Metal Slug at any arcade I could find it in. The fast-paced gameplay always hooked me in right from the start, and the overall goofy vibe of everything just made it all that much better. When I saw that Steam had 4 Metal Slug games available, I knew I had to grab them, and that I did. So far I've only beaten 2 of the 4 games, but god are they so much fun, especially if you have a friend. Another game taking heavy influence from Chrono Trigger, I Am Setsuna hit you right off the bat with the classic JRPG feel. While the game didn't immediately click with me, I would eventually be sucked into the snow-filled world with melancholy piano music following me every step of the way. Something about the calmness of the world portrayed mixed with the perfect music for the setting really got me invested in the world that was being built around me. While the overall pacing, story, and character development may lack in places, the familiar gameplay, beautiful snow-filled world, and wonderful soundtrack kept me going on to the very end. I Am Setsuna may not please everyone, but flaws aside, I absolutely adored it. And taking my top spot on this list is the absolutely gorgeous platformer, Ori and the Blind Forest. Purchased more or less on a whim, Ori and the Blind Forest enchanted me right from the start. I could go on about how absolutely stunning the visuals for this game are, with beautiful background landscapes, out of focus foreground foliage, and just the overall feel the world of Ori gives off, but the gameplay department is no slouch either. The base game of tight and responsive platforming is only further improved by an interesting take on combat and a rewarding level up skill system. The music, while not very memorable to me personally, fits with the whimsical nature of the world and only further adds to the incredible experience that is Ori and the Blind Forest. And that was my list. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and let me know what your favorite Steam games are in the comments. And feel free to recommend to me your favorite games or whatever, and maybe I'll play it and maybe I'll record it, because I'm a content whore and I'll pretty much play almost anything and record it for some reason. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's been CCR, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.